Okay. In lesson 4, you're going to be learning how to organize your argument. So remember that paragraphs can be ordered in several ways, and it really just depends on your topic and the purpose of your argument. You can go from general to more specific information. You can go from the most important point to the least important point, or you can do the opposite of that and go from your weakest claim to your strongest claim. Remember, for paragraph structure, you need to have your topic sentence with your reason in it. You need to provide evidence, and this evidence needs to be research based. Okay. Use research to support the claims that you make in your topic sentence to prove your argument, right? And then explain how that evidence supports your claim. So make sure that you have all of this in there. First, your topic sentence with your reason, then your evidence, and then explain how that evidence supports that claim that you made. Okay. Avoid statements like this evidence supports my claim, because just basically, explain how it supports without actually stating that in the sentence. If you put it in there, I mean, it's okay, but you want to really try to get away from just having to state that this is your evidence, that this is how that evidence supports that. Okay, so you want to try to get away from actually stating that in there. Okay, let's watch a short video on how to write a strong essay body paragraph.
The body is the longest part of your essay. It's where you make your arguments, explain your ideas, and give your evidence. Here's how to write a body section using strong paragraphs. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Jessica from Scriber, here to help you achieve your academic goals. Before you start writing the main body of your essay, you need two things: a thesis statement and an outline of your essay structure. Here's the thesis statement for our example essay about Braille, which appears in our introduction paragraph. As the first writing system designed for blind people's needs, Braille was a groundbreaking new accessibility tool, and the outline sketches out the main ideas you'll cover. It helps you organize your thoughts and plan the order of information. We also have a video on how to create your essay outline. If you haven't watched it yet, check it out here. Now it's time to start writing. An essay's body is split up into paragraphs, and you should tackle it one paragraph at a time. Each paragraph should be unified. All the sentences relate to one central idea, coherent. The sentences are logically organized and connected. Relevant. The paragraph is clearly related to the essay's thesis. The content and structure of a paragraph varies, but these 3 points are universal to all paragraphs. To write a strong paragraph, the first step is to identify its purpose. What point are you going to make in this paragraph? Let's work on an example from our essay about Braille. In the first body paragraph, we want to describe the situation for blind people before Braille's invention. So we start by drafting a sentence that clearly introduces the paragraph's focus. This is called a topic sentence. Lack of access to reading and writing put blind people at a serious disadvantage in 19th century Europe. You can also use topic sentences to make clear transition between paragraphs or link your ideas together. You'll learn more about writing great topic sentences in our next video in this playlist. But first, let's build the rest of our paragraph. Next, you expand your topic sentence with evidence and explanation. There are many different ways to give evidence in an essay. Cite relevant statistics or scientific studies. Quote or paraphrase from sources, like books, articles, or documentaries. Describe real-life examples or case studies. Provide your own data, so from interviews or observations. In our example, we give evidence by paraphrasing from relevant sources. While disabled people in general suffer from discrimination, blindness was widely viewed as the worst disability, and it was commonly believed that blind people were incapable of pursuing a profession or improving themselves through culture. You should also give your own interpretation or explanation of the evidence. How does it relate to your argument and add to your point? Here, we explain how this evidence tells us something about the importance of text to social status. This demonstrates the importance of reading and writing to social status at the time. Without access to text, it was considered impossible to fully participate in society. In any given paragraph, you might give just one piece of evidence that you analyze in detail, or you might give several pieces of evidence and show how they fit together. Most importantly, Everything in the paragraph must clearly relate to the idea you introduced in the topic sentence. Finally, wrap up the paragraph by returning to your main point and showing the overall consequences of the evidence you have explored. Our paragraph ends by summing up the consequences of this situation for blind people. It also leads us into the next paragraph, which will focus on the education system. Blind people were excluded from the sighted world, but also entirely dependent on sighted people for information and education. Now, this is just one paragraph. Keep building your body section, starting each paragraph with the topic sentence. Speaking of which, our next video is on writing clear topic sentences. See you there then!
So another strategy is just um, using race, right? Or the peel strategy. We also talked about another strategy that we used in the last unit. I don't remember what it was called now, but there's several different ways that you can use different strategies. We mostly use race or races or raced strategies. Okay, so make your point, right? Make the central argument, express the main idea in the topic sentence, then provide evidence supporting your point, right? And then explain how that evidence supports it, and then link it back to your argument and link it to the next paragraph using a transitional phrase. Okay, so looking at this example right here, we have our body paragraph. Your first is your transition, your thesis, and your first reason. So to begin with, schools should not require students to wear uniforms because they restrict students' individuality. So right there, they're making their point, right? They're giving their reason. Okay. And then the next is providing evidence. According to the article, 4 reasons public schools should think twice before instituting school uniform policies. Lee Rowland states students have a First Amendment right to express themselves, so as long as that expression is not disruptive to the school day. So there's the evidence, right? They actually provided a quote, and use quotes sparingly. Okay, so guys, most of the time you want to summarize or paraphrase. You still need to cite your source because you got that information from somewhere else. But you can use quotes, but you want to use quotes sparingly. So you would use a quote when you need the author's exact words to make an impact on your audience. Okay. If you don't need the author's exact words, then paraphrase it. Okay. And then your explanation. This proves that by making all students dress the same way, schools are denying them the right of self-expression while also limiting them to sameness. So now they're explaining how that goes. And then they would link it to the next paragraph as needed. And typically in a paragraph, you want to have 2 pieces of evidence, and that means you would have 2 explanations on there to link each of those pieces of evidence back to your main point. And then you would have a closing sentence that kind of moves you into that next paragraph. Okay.